Hello everyone, and welcome back to Secrets Behind the Stars. Settle in, because tonight we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most talked about love stories of the moment, and we're doing it with the care, nuance, and little spark of drama you come here for. Before we jump in, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the twists, surprises, and late-night revelations we uncover. Now, let's get to the heartbeat of it all. The whispers about Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel, and that lingering question that's been lighting up comment sections. Does Yağmur get jealous of Barış, and what's really hiding behind those rumors? If you followed them from the early days, you know how their connection didn't just appear, it arrived like a scene-stealing entrance. They met under bright studio lights with microphones clipped on and cameras rolling, and the spark between them didn't care that the world was watching. That magnetism, the kind you can't fabricate no matter how many angles you shoot from, slipped gracefully off the set and into real life. It started with shared laughter in hallways between takes, and it grew into a ritual of eye contact that said more than interviews ever could. People noticed. Fans clipped moments, replayed glances, threaded tiny smiles into timelines, and the buzz got loud. Over time, they went from a compelling on-screen pairing to an authentic couple whose tenderness felt steady, not staged. From the very first public photos, Barış and Yağmur seemed to communicate in a language that thrives when two ambitious lives collide. He, charismatic and decisive, with that classic leading man stance that fills a room; she, poised and intuitive, commanding attention without ever raising her voice. It was never just about romantic chemistry, it was about rhythm. The way he steps into the spotlight and she shapes it with grace. The way she owns a frame and he lets pride show, unmasked. If you've seen them together at events, you've seen that rhythm, hers a delicate balance of warmth and self-possession, his an easy confidence that softens the edges of a hectic schedule. But with a love story that lives in public comes the tug-of-war between reality and imagination. Rumors began to swirl like they always do when fans adore a couple as much as they do this one. One day it's a screenshot of a comment. The next it's a clip stitched with dramatic audio, a misread expression, a micro moment turned into a macro conversation. The storyline of the week? That Yağmur might be jealous of the attention that trails after Barış like an eager shadow. The setup is familiar, a polished interview where he compliments a colleague, a behind-the-scenes photo with a co-star. A candid moment backstage where laughter lasts 1 second too long for comfort. Suddenly, captions appear. Did you see her reaction? Did you notice his tone? And just like that, a wave of speculation conditions casual observers to see past what's real and into a fantasy of friction. Let's pause and talk about the emotion at the core of this. Jealousy can be messy, but it is also human. In measured doses, it can be a reflex of care, a quiet alarm that rings when something precious feels fragile. Fame distorts that reflex. The public eye doesn't only watch, it amplifies. A harmless smile takes on the weight of subtext if you stare at it long enough, and a single comment, stripped of context, becomes a headline. So imagine living in a world where every interaction, even the innocent ones, gets archived by 1,000 fingers hovering over the screenshot button. If jealousy visits, briefly, softly, it would hardly be shocking. But there's a chasm between an ordinary flicker of emotion and the catastrophes conspiracy minds crave. Barış's work naturally involves proximity, scenes rehearsed in tight spaces, energy traded like currency, chemistry performed and recorded from every angle. He's good at what he does, which means people notice the ease with which he connects on camera. Off camera, he's often warm, courteous, and open, a combination that fans love and gossip thrives on. Pair that with a news cycle hungry for intrigue, and suddenly a friendly exchange is recast as a clue. Meanwhile, Yağmur's career has carved its own orbit. She stands out when the lenses whip around, not by being the loudest, but by being unshakably present. She knows how to navigate rooms, how to smile without surrendering her boundaries, how to project that rare composure which is its own kind of power. Together, they make a modern tandem, supportive, aspirational, and tirelessly observed. So where do the whispers really come from? Often from the places where fans congregate to love something so much that it hurts. There are edits set to swelling music. There are threads that catalog timelines. There are posts that draw circles around nothing and call it something. A quick like from an actress on Barış's photo becomes, in certain corners, an omen. A night where Yağmur leaves an event early becomes a question mark. A week with fewer joint posts becomes a narrative arc. None of these fragments prove anything, but they build a mood, and moods are persuasive. Let's step into a hypothetical that feels familiar because it mirrors what this industry produces every season. Barış signs onto a campaign, polished, romantic, deliberate. The teaser drops, soft lighting, close framing, a co-star whose presence invites suitors in the comments section. The moment the footage hits, some viewers start searching for signs. Where's Yağmur? What will she say? Does she mind? And then, as if on cue, a candid appears, Barış laughing with his co-star in a corridor as the crew resets the shot. 2 seconds of casual conversation. That's all. But in the echo chamber, 2 seconds is plenty for a theory to find its legs. Yet what happens outside the echo chamber? The campaign hits, the message lands, the brand is thrilled, and behind all of that, the person who knows him best texts him a private word of praise. Later, she posts a photo that isn't about the campaign at all, but about her day, her life, her plans. The subtext is simple: this is a partnership that can withstand the noise. The reverse happens too. When Yağmur shines, the room recalibrates. She's in a new project, sleek visuals, fresh styling, a narrative that positions her at the center by design. She posts a behind-the-scenes snapshot of a long day and a short sunset, and the comments light up with hearts and crowns. Then someone notices Barış in the background of a different post, quietly taking the photo, or sharing a story with a caption that's restrained and proud. He doesn't overplay his hand. He doesn't need to. The message reads, her success is not a threat to his presence, it is an extension of their bond. Now, let's talk about what they actually say, not the rumor mill, not the stitched clips, but their own words across months of conversations. When asked about the strain of being watched, Barış tends to keep it grounded. He speaks about discipline, about loyalty to the work, about how attention is a variable you consider, not a fortune you chase. When questions tilt toward his private life, he becomes gentler, deliberately avoiding theatrics. He credits support at home for the steadiness on display at premieres. Meanwhile, Yağmur has drawn a careful map of her boundaries in interviews. She is gracious, but she is not performative with her privacy. When the notion of jealousy is floated her way, she sidesteps a trap and answers with a philosophy: trust is earned, and trust is maintained, and the only way to keep it alive is to honor what you've built rather than react to what strangers project onto it. She doesn't scold, she reminds. There's also the architecture of their public life that's easy to miss if you only watch for tension. He shows up when it counts. Quietly, on time, leaving room for her glow. She returns the favor with the same generosity. At premieres, they do not drown each other out, they pass the microphone back and forth. At private gatherings that accidentally spill onto timelines, they're often seen at opposite ends of a room, moving in separate conversations, meeting in the middle when it's time to leave. That choreography is not distance, it's trust wearing the outfit of independence. It says, we don't have to cling to prove what is obvious. So, is there evidence of jealousy taking root and shaking the trunk of this tree? Despite the theories, the answer, as far as anyone can responsibly claim, is no. There might be glimmers, the human kind, because this is not a couple made of marble. But the story that emerges from their choices is one of mutual assurance. When he's asked to comment on attention from fans or colleagues, he doesn't flinch, he listens and moves on. When she is placed under the magnifying glass and invited to rank her feelings for public consumption, she declines the game and reframes the question. The constancy of this pattern matters. Flares of emotion are weather, a relationship is climate. And the climate here looks temperate, cultivated, and resilient. If we widen the lens further, we see how easily narratives about women and jealousy get recycled in this industry. A raised eyebrow becomes a script. A brief pause becomes a verdict. If a woman is firm, she's treated as controlling. If she is gracious, she's treated as insecure. Yağmur refuses both costumes, and that refusal unsettles people who need their heroines to be either saints or storms. She can be protective without being possessive. She can be tender without being timid. Her steadiness is misread by those who think love must always be performed to be believed. There are moments, small, almost forgettable, when their bond shows with undeniable clarity. A quick hand on his shoulder when he's pulled in 3 directions at once. A look across a crowded hallway when schedules change mid-scene. A laugh that erupts before the camera rolls and lingers after it cuts. Those are not the gestures of people currently negotiating a catastrophe. Those are the signs of 2 people who refuse to let a spotlight bleach the color out of real feeling. Of course, speculation won't disappear. It's the toll the famous pay to walk the road they've chosen, and it fuels channels like this one with conversations we try to handle with care. But if you ask us whether Yağmur is secretly fuming while Barış soaks in the glow of his rising profile, the story their lives tell points in another direction. They don't fight the attention, they repurpose it. They don't deny the challenges, they manage them. And when the trending topics fade, what remains are decisions. Who they support, how they show up, what they refuse to make into a public spectacle. So, the next time a thumbnail invites you to decode a stare or a caption dares you to pick a side, remember what 2 professionals with an actual stake in this relationship have already shown. Love can be ambitious without becoming territorial. Success can be shared without being tallied. And if jealousy ever taps at their window, it will find the lights on, the door locked, and 2 voices inside busy talking. Not to us, not to the noise, but to each other. Tell us what you think. Did a recent event sway your opinion? Do you see hints the casual scroll might miss? Drop your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, tap that subscribe button for more from Secrets Behind the Stars. We'll keep asking the questions you're curious about, we'll keep separating signal from storm, and we'll be right here the next time love and fame collide, showing you how to listen for the truth in a room full of echoes.